Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Ann Emanuel. A blood drive was held in Corning today. As our Josh Stuttle reports, this drive comes as the Red Cross is reporting a nationwide blood shortage.
The American Red Cross has seen a shortage of blood this year, but today at Guthrie Hospital, a blood drive was held. Since late August, the Red Cross has seen a 25% drop in their blood supply. Sheila Sullivan, an area booking manager for the Southern Tier, explains.
We have seen a shortfall at the end of summer, and summer is always a challenging time for us, but this year it's been exceptionally challenging. And in order for us to keep the shelf stock on a nationwide scale, we need to collect 10,000 units extra for this month. We have blood drives daily. We run blood drives Monday through Saturday.
The American Red Cross is urgently in need of donors and welcomes all blood types. The Red Cross has ongoing blood drives all through the Southern Tier. Hospitals such as Guthrie and the American Red Cross are working daily to ensure life-saving blood is available. For more information on how to donate or to schedule an appointment, visit redcrossblood.org. Josh Stuttle, Big Fox News, Corning.
The Elmira Police Department has identified the man who was killed in a house fire earlier this month. Police say 52-year-old Daryl Hammond has been confirmed as the deceased man found in the fire that took place on October 1st. The Elmira Fire Department says crews were dispatched to a house on East Washington Avenue for a fire. When they arrived, the home was completely on fire and they were told a person was still inside. Crews extinguished the flames and entered the house, finding Hammond. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Turning now to the Middle East, Israel says it has imposed a total blockade of the Gaza Strip ahead of what's expected to be an all-out assault on Hamas and its supporters. Greg Pelcott has more from Israel.
Israeli forces pounding Gaza City by air, targeting Hamas command centers and government buildings in retaliation for the surprise terror attack that started over the weekend. Israeli military says it has now imposed a total blockade of the Gaza Strip and is placing mines along the border where the militants slipped through. Israel's called up an unprecedented 300,000 reservists. Further signs it could be planning a major ground assault inside Gaza.
The IDF is strong. It will act with strength and will win and achieve its needed goals. Looking forward, it is expected that there will be days of long, complex fighting.
But the rocket attacks keep coming, and Israeli officials are asking hard questions about how Hamas pulled off an offensive of this size. A Hamas official claims their allies in Iran didn't help plan the attack, but they might join the fight, warning Israel will, quote, open the gates of hell if it tries to destroy Gaza.
Our allies are ready to join us if Gaza is subjected to a war of annihilation. They will not sit with their hands tied. The government of Israel knows this.
Meanwhile, the militants are still holding more than 100 hostages in the Gaza Strip, their relatives describing horrific scenes as they were kidnapped at gunpoint.
The kibbutz was burned and many people were killed. I feel heartbroken. I have a child the same age in the other room, and it is any parent's worst nightmare.
And Hamas is threatening to kill those hostages if Israel doesn't stop its counteroffensive. In Sderot, Israel, Greg Pelcott, Fox News.
American aid is on its way to Israel as the fighting rages on the Israel-Gaza border. Critics, though, say the Biden administration is not doing enough to show its support to Israel. Griff Jenkins has more.
Days into the war, the U.S. has started to deliver critical military aid to Israel, including squadrons of advanced fighter jets. Israeli officials have issued an urgent request for precision-guided munitions, more interceptors for the Iron Dome, and American-made small-diameter bombs.
This is a very different operation. It's going to take some time. It's going to require some patience.
It comes as President Biden confirms that 11 Americans were killed in the attacks. On Monday, he spoke with key U.S. allies, France, Germany, Italy, and the U.K., a joint statement reading in part, quote, our countries will support Israel in its efforts to defend itself and its people against such atrocities. Some, though, are still critical of how the Biden administration is responding to this crisis.
We need the president and everybody to have all hands on deck. This is a situation that demands leadership, and right now, this is a president that's just missing in action.
One of the things that we're seeing here is that the lack of American strength all around the world has led to this moment.
Meanwhile, while no direct evidence has tied Iran to the attack by Hamas, the White House says it's been complicit.
We've sanctioned 400 entities in Iran just in the beginning of this administration, let alone the sanctions that came before us. We are enforcing the sanctions, and we're adding sanctions to the regime.
Senior defense officials say the Pentagon is reaching out now to defense industry leaders to accelerate existing contracts for weapons shipments to Israel. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
The UAW strike against major automakers expanding on Monday to include workers at one of the country's biggest manufacturers of heavy trucks. Union workers at Mack Trucks joining the picket lines after voting down a new contract. About 4,000 Mack workers in Florida, Maryland, and Pennsylvania walked off the job on Monday. Around 25,000 workers are now on the picket lines. House Republicans need to pick a new House Speaker, and they're trying to act fast because the lower chamber is essentially at a standstill until then. And with Israel's war, there is a newfound urgency to get the House in order to support one of America's allies. Mike Emanuel has more from Washington.
It appears to be a two-man race to be the next Speaker of the House after Kevin McCarthy's historic ouster last week. McCarthy is not ruling out returning, but for now it's Trump-endorsed Jim Jordan versus House Majority Leader Steve Scalise.
I'm ready to go with a great team in place to move fast and uniting people from all factions of our conference.
Both of the declared candidates will try and win over colleagues before their caucus holds a secret ballot to see who the favorite is. A full House vote on the floor could come soon after.
I think that we'll have a new speaker seated probably by Wednesday or Thursday.
It is not clear whether anyone can win a majority of House votes, but Congress doesn't have time for a drawn-out fight. After Hamas militants launched a surprise attack on Israel Saturday, the bloodiest day for Jews since the Holocaust.
Whoever they pick, we want to make sure we can work to find common ground, especially now in a time of crisis like this.
The lower chamber is essentially paralyzed, unable to pass emergency aid until a speaker is seated. Even a simple bipartisan resolution condemning Hamas and supporting Israel cannot get a vote until then.
I think the world is watching. They're seeing a dysfunctional democracy.
And there's still a looming government shutdown that could happen next month, and with no speaker, little progress can be made. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
Your forecast is coming up next. Plus,
a Harvard professor's research on the gender pay gap earning her a Nobel Prize. I'm Alexis McAdams. I'll have that story coming up next.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Good evening. A pesky low-pressure system that is sitting just north of the Great Lakes continues to keep us underneath some of this cloud cover. Though we've been working in sometimes with some blue skies, we will continue to look for those chances for breaks in the clouds through at least about Friday. Now, we can't rule out some hit-or-miss showers. We were even seeing that as we were stepping throughout our Tuesday. Some short waves around that low-pressure system starts to bring a little punch of some energy, and when it moves over those lake waters, we're seeing that with the atmosphere being a little cooler and those waters being a little warmer from the summertime, it does initiate some lake effect showers, and those can even spread up through our local area. And we're going to be watching a lifting warm front just off to our west, which is going to allow for some showers through Wednesday into Thursday, looking at pretty minor accumulations, but at least some chances that will be around before that stronger system to our west will move in for the weekend. So here as we set up into our Wednesday, 61 degrees looking to be our high, so looking to trend closer to what's seasonal, especially with some better chances to continue to work in some of that sunshine. Now, with that little bit of that southerly wind that is strong at times, that's what continues to shake out some of those showers. So you can see right off of the lakes, that's what carries some of those shower chances. Now, again, pretty minor accumulation, especially our area. It takes a little bit of some effort to bring those showers through the region. Definitely better chances hold closer to the Finger Lakes region. And there as we head into Thursday, here's a warm front that is lifting north with a low pressure system that might bring some showers up through that border of Pennsylvania and New York, so just south of the Elmira Corning area. But again, as mentioned, pretty minor accumulations before that warm front will actually lift into the area come by Saturday. So we'll keep an eye open for that system, but for the meantime, we'll enjoy some times of that sunshine working its way in, which will, again, as mentioned, allow for some of those near seasonable temperatures for tomorrow. We'll head into our Thursday with, again, some chances for some hit or miss showers, but also looking at those temperatures into those lower 60s with some peaks of sunshine. One more day of that will last into our Friday, but then this is where our attention will be drawn into Saturday. Now, it's still off to our west as we head into Saturday. Low pressure system pretty much extending across Michigan. Now, that warm front still south of us, so what we'll note is that we're not going to get a big warm up in the temperatures, as that's where that warm front is going to stay. But what we'll see is that we are going to be in that push of some moisture that will bring back those rain showers. This is also a fairly strong low, so it's going to be windy at times, especially by Sunday into Monday, as the system is also going to linger like our last system, which means that we have several more days of rain setting up. So it will start to work in late Friday night. So there's some rain showers that are possible, but no, definitely drier daytime. And then that system moves in, which keeps those temperatures cooler into the lower 50s, and will battle that lingering system into early next week.